Okay. Can you set up the timer?
Yes.
And then once the timer gets going, then from there to whenever we finish is what you'll do the thing.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Bridget. How are we doing today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Why are we just feeling okay today?
I found out some news this week and it's not settling right.
You want to elaborate some more for me?
Well, somebody that I know and I care about very much got a stage 4 cancer diagnosis and she's in good spirits, but my heart hurts.
Understandably so. Like, that's pretty heavy information.
Hmm.
And how are we feeling about the I know you said that your heart hurts, but do you want to talk more about that?
Well, she's been a very important person in my life, and to be honest with you, I don't know how I can move on with my life if she's not in it.
That's reasonable to feel that way with it being somebody very close to you, and those are very common feelings to be had going through something like this. Um, when you say that you don't know how you would feel if she wasn't here with you,
Hmm.
what do you mean by that?
Like, I don't know. I feel like, you know, maybe I guess the thought of, if I died today, I'd be okay with it.
Okay. Um, and by that, do you mean like you would take your own life, or are you just imagining what your death could be?
The second one.
Like an external force happening kind of
Yeah,
scenario?
like fleeting thoughts of if I go to bed, thoughts of like I'd be okay if I didn't wake up again. Or if I'm driving down the highway and a semi truck hits me, I'd be okay.
And then are these newer feelings for you, or is this just started with the news of the cancer diagnosis?
Fairly recent with the fleeting thoughts. Um, I've had thoughts before when I was in my mid 20s, but nothing ever came out of it.
Okay. And then, with all of this being said, how would you feel about answering a few questions on a little assessment of mine?
Of course.
It's about 6 questions, depending on how we answer the first two.
Hmm.
Um, Depending on the first two answers, we might have to go over questions 3, 4, and 5. If not, then we would just jump to question number 6, okay?
Okay.
And this is from the CSSRS. Um, I'm pretending that I'm sharing my screen with you.
Hmm.
So you can see here how it has the 6 different questions and it's 3 different categories.
Hmm.
So we're going to start with question number 1, which you sort of answered, but I still want to ask it for clarifying purposes for this
Hmm.
assessment. Have you wished you were dead or wished you could just go to sleep and not wake up?
Yeah.
Okay. And then for question number 2, have you actually had any thoughts about killing yourself?
Like recently or at any time?
Let's just do in general.
A very long time ago.
very long time ago, but not
but not recently, no.
okay. With us still putting yes from a long time ago, how about we just do the next three questions
Okay,
and see how we're feeling from there, okay?
okay.
Okay. Number three is have you had thoughts about how you might do it?
Yes.
Okay. And then for question four, have you had any intention of acting on these thoughts of killing yourself as opposed to you have the thoughts, but you definitely would not act on them?
No, it was more of a thought. I got scared and it didn't and nothing ever conspired with the thought.
Okay, so we don't plan on acting out on these thoughts?
Correct.
Okay. And then for number five, um, you've kind of already answered this, but I do still need to ask the question.
Hmm.
Have you started to work out or worked out the details of how you would kill yourself? Do you intend to carry them out?
No, like I said, it was more of a formidable thought than it was action. Um, and yeah, like that's just what it was.
Okay. And then the last question is something that I would have to ask regardless on if we had to do that middle section or not.
Hmm.
Have you done anything, started to do anything, or prepared to do anything to end your life? So that would be
No,
like obtaining pills, a gun, giving away your valuables, writing your suicide note, anything like that.
no, not at this time.
Okay. And then I know we still have some time left in our session, but I did want to show you that at the bottom of this assessment that I've shared with you,
Hmm.
there is that hotline for the suicide prevention. Um, I would suggest that you keep that saved somewhere for future purposes in case you ever feel like you do need to talk to somebody outside of our sessions or just feel like you need that extra person to talk to in case these thoughts go from more than just the fleeting thoughts into more of we might want to act out on these thoughts.
Hmm.
Um, so that's just a good resource to have on hand. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about within our last couple of minutes?
No, I don't think so. I guess like are these thoughts normal to have?
They are very common to have in the situation of you're going through the early grieving process because you're not sure of the outcome with this loved one of yours. I don't know if they're going through treatment or wanting to go through treatment. Do you have any of that information?
Yeah, she's gonna start treatment in the next couple weeks. Um, radiation and chemo. It
Okay.
won't take away completely, but it'll at least shrink the tumor. So
And then after the shrinkage, would they be able to remove it surgically?
that I'm not for certain. I haven't really got into details because like even though she's in good spirits, she only wants to talk about it like bare minimally. I don't. She hasn't. She's still processing it. So.
Okay, so there are those little slivers of possible potential hope.
Mm,
But even with that being said, we are still in the early like grieving processes of like the potential of losing a loved one.
mm.
So these are very common feelings to have at this time. It's just if these feelings start to become more of like wanting to do actions, I do
Hmm.
suggest calling the hotline.
Okay.
Or we could even set up more times for you to come in for your sessions so you can
Okay.
talk through these feelings.
Yeah, that would be fine too. I'd like that.
All right, perfect. Then we can set up your next appointment. I know we have you set up for once a month. Are we wanting to do every other week or once a week?
Let's do every other week.
Every other week?
Hmm.
And then we can touch base on how we're feeling with your loved one each time if that works for you.
Hmm.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Bridget. I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
Scene. All right, Caitlin.
All right. So, talking about some things that you did well, I think you did really well with digging deeper to find out, like more information and why, client might be feeling that way. Something that I would like, that I want, that for improvement. I don't think this time you did too much reflecting. Um,
Okay.
and then I also liked that you talked about the hotline. Um, and I like how you said like these thoughts are common, when you're going through this process. I feel like when it comes to the assessment and how you were saying, like, question one, two, and we're gonna skip questions, and that I feel like it could have been a little bit smoother because it felt like very, like analytical and like maybe not as comforting and inviting. Like if being on the client's end to feel comfortable. But you know, I could be wrong. Um so and then I also really liked how you talked about like the frequency of appointments. So, you said, "Oh, we see each other once a month. Let's do every other week." Um I think that was good insight into what the client might need in that moment. So, you did a good job.
Thanks. Anything from you, Bridget?
No, I think she summed it up pretty well. You were really calm the whole time, which was great. Which, in a situation like that, you were pretty calm and cool. Um, I think that you asked the right questions and you got more detail, which was good. Um, yeah, but overall, I think it went well. Um, I don't have any, you know, I don't have any bad things to say.
Thanks. I was trying to use what I learned from my trauma-based class
Mm.
that we learned with doing psychological first aid. So I was trying to tie that in with this section to see if I got that down or not. So thank you guys.
Welcome.